I didn't see reconciliation, I saw surrender. Ex-Rivers Commissioner rejects Tinubu brokered peace in Wike, Fubara feed. Inuibu Basa says the Tinubu brokered reconciliation of Rivers political actors wasn't peace, but a surrender, without fairness or justice. Of course, he just had to be like, it's almost as if he doesn't have any choice. Like, these people are winning. They are more powerful than he is. So he doesn't have a choice but to surrender to them. And I don't think he even has anything up his sleeve. Like, what can he do? If he gets reinstated, is it that he can do something to still defeat these people? I don't think so. He just has to surrender because he doesn't have any choice. And if he's surrendering so that they can reinstate him back, so that he can resign, it's okay. But if he wants to continue, to allow them to be controlling him like that, I don't know. I really do not know. Former Rivers State Commissioner for Employment and Empowerment has dismissed the peace deal brokered by President Bola Tinubu between Governor Siminalayi Fubara and Federal Capital Territory Minister Wike as nothing more than a surrender by the governor. And now that they said that, okay, he should not contest for 2027, guess who their candidate is going to be? Amewole. Mrs. Amewole will probably be running as the president. You say that one dummy. And that one, anything that Wike says he will do, so he's the one that he will put there. Speaking during an interview with Arise News on Friday, Tinubu argued that the reconciliation lacked fairness, equity, and justice, which are essential to sustainable peace. I want to state with all sense of responsibility that I didn't see a surrender. I didn't see a reconciliation. I saw a surrender, Wimbusa said. Yes, now. Rising to the much publicized Abuja meeting where warring factions were said to have agreed to end their political differences. You don't talk about peace when you are not talking about equity. You cannot talk about peace when you are not talking about fairness. He added, insisting that Governor Fubara attended the meeting alone, without a balanced delegation, so they could don't finish with talk. So he will have to surrender, while all the stakeholders were on the side of the FCC minister. According to him, the governor went to Abuja as an individual and not as a representative of Rivers State's collective interest. If he carried the embodiment of the desire of Rivers State, then we should have seen a more balanced delegation. That was a surrender and not a reconciliation. Tinubu argued that true peace cannot be achieved unless the root issues, political control and economic management of the state, are addressed. Until there is equality, until there is justice, or sustainable and lasting peace cannot be said to have been achieved. He said this whole fight has always been about pushing a man to the desire of a single person. He warned that if the current outcome merely returns the state to a political status quo, where Wike retains de facto control, then real progress is impossible. If all that is in the reconciliation is for everyone to go back and bow before the same man, exactly, then it means we have returned to the status quo. And that cannot bring peace. On the implications for governance in the state, Tinubu was blunt. Rivers State will not make progress until we have a leader who possesses the will to be different, the courage to dare, and not the timidity to maintain the status quo. He said the only short-term benefit of the current arrangement might be the lifting of the unofficial state of emergency, but warned of continued interference in governance. The same gladiators are going to come back and continue to make Rivers State that cow that they will milk, yes, for their personal use. That is it, though. That is justice, because this person. It admitted that the initial fight by Governor Fubara to protect the state's resources appears to have been lost. If at this point he could not succeed in that, it simply means he has failed, and we are going back to the status quo. He said, well, that man has tried. I beg you, people should pity him. He has tried his best. What do you want him to do again? He should buy himself. Tinubu also linked the peace deal to political ambitions ahead of the 2027 general election, saying, the entire crisis has always had a 2027 undercurrent. Everything the FCT minister is doing today is to see that he pleases Mr. President, to prove he has something to offer in 2027. Exactly. And that's the same person that the president is saying he wants to probe. I say they are just whining us. He wants that the political allies cannot dictate the will of the Rivers people in the next elections. People will not vote because of Governor Fubara. People will vote because of his super minister. People will vote out of the pain of their hunger, of unemployment, of disease and mystery. According to him, anyone claiming to be able to deliver Rivers votes, hook, line and sinker to President Tinubu is misleading the presidency. If we live long enough to be in 2027, everyone who feels that they will take 2027 into their pockets will be surprised. Let them be surprised though. On the state of emergency, Fubara said there is no more justification for its continuation. Today, both members of the Assembly and the governors are already shaking hands and giving press statements that peace has returned. So if peace has returned, the basis for the emergency rule died yesterday. He said, calling for the immediate restoration of full constitutional governance in the states. He stressed that peace can only be sustainable if the governor engages directly with Rivers people to explain the terms of agreements. The citizens of Rivers State are the principal stakeholders. If this agreement remains between him and his godfather, it becomes a problem. He warned that failure to carry the people along could trigger fresh rejection. The people have the right to reject it. They will reject both the peace process, the governor and the godfather. People that were unable to fight and stand your ground and say, no, you're not going to declare state of emergency in our state, though. You're not going to remove our governor. You didn't do that, though. You didn't do that, but you have the right to reject the peace process, the governor and the godfather. You people are hypocrites. Why didn't you people stand your ground and fight for your governor when he was going through all of this? He fought alone. You people left him all alone. Now you are saying that you will reject the peace process. People are very funny. Reflecting on lessons from the political crisis, Fubara cautioned against leaders mortgaging themselves to political benefactors. He accused the FCC minister of sponsoring the nomination forms and campaign of virtually all political office holders in the states. He who pays the piper is dictating the tune. He said politics is, if you must represent the people, must not be reduced to business. It is well. At Okobi says, your English is good, but it didn't match the situation on ground. Have you ever advised Fubara on how to hold trust? Can you come to Abuja and be part of Fubara delegation? Can you advise Fubara to resign since this audition didn't go well with you? Fubara surrendered because he's a rebel, a serial betrayer. You don't know what you're saying. People don't know what you're saying. Now wow. Email Odofia says, fraudulent people, everything about Tinubu and Wike is fraud. It is well. Charles Odume says, Tinubu is an oppressor, but there shall be repercussions ahead. It is well. My listeners, over to you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for listening. See you some other time. Bye.